You don't have consent. If you break my window,
Open it up.
if you break my window, no, you are trespassing against my property.
Okay, guys, welcome back to Trial Tactics TV. Today we head to Wollongong, New South Wales, Australia, where a sovereign citizen gets pulled over by Highway Patrol for a random breath test. Of course, he refuses and goes straight into the usual U.S. style sovereign script and even drives off from a stop thinking he got away with it. But that doesn't last long, because police later catch up with him and hit him with multiple charges.
State your name?
Yeah, I'll start from the beginning. How about we do that?
Yes, let's do that.
All right. Senior Constable Roncato, Wollongong Highway Patrol.
Thank you.
I'm required by law to let you know I'm wearing a body-worn video camera that's recording, and there's cameras in the Highway Patrol car that are recording.
That's
as well.
fine, no dramas at all.
All right. Do you agree that I've directed you into the RBT site for the purposes of random testing?
I agree, you pulled me in for that, yeah.
All right. Do you agree that I've asked you to produce your driver's licence?
Yes, and do you agree that I've said to you that is a commercial contract to the Roads and Maritime Services, and that is a separate corporation to the New South Wales Police Force, which is a different ABN, so you didn't have the consent by me, I am the beneficiary and the executor of that legal fiction name. You didn't have the consent to even look up the details of that commercial contract to the RMS, because you're a separate corporation.
All right. I agree you said something similar to that, not quite as long as that, much shorter.
I do study law.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, I agree, you've definitely studied something, but that something wasn't criminal law. I can guarantee you that.
So, in the end, so you're driving a motor vehicle and the state of New South Wales...
No, I'm not driving a motor vehicle, I'm
there.
travelling.
You're required to produce carry and produce a driver's licence when police ask.
That'd be if you're conducting commerce, and I'm not conducting commerce, I'm actually travelling.
Do you agree that I then gave you a warning that if you didn't produce that driver's licence that you would be arrested?
Oh, I agree you gave me that warning, but I find you have no jurisdiction as the state of New South Wales is registered to Washington DC under the... listen to me, please. I'm going to continue. State of New South Wales is registered to Washington DC on the Security Exchange Commission 0000071545, which means that you now require an ASIC 480 memorandum, ASIC 402, ASIC 403, ASIC 404 and ASIC 405 to be able to conduct business lawfully in this country.
Okay, first of all, nowhere in New South Wales Road Rule 305 does it say you only need to present your driver's license if you're conducting commerce. That's something you've just made up to fit your traveling narrative. And speaking of that traveling argument, that's a U.S. term, not even used in Australia. So right away you're wasting everyone's time. And secondly, this officer is enforcing the law, not running a business. So all that talk about New South Wales being registered in Washington, D.C. is completely irrelevant, but clearly facts aren't going to stop you from continuing this nonsense.
Again, I've mentioned to you before, I don't know what you're talking about.
I do, because I study law.
Yep. In the end, I'm dealing with the road rules in terms of New South Wales, the road legislation.
Well, I just told you, the state of New South Wales is registered to Washington DC without the people's consent of this country.
So this is your last warning. You need to produce...
I don't need to. No, I don't, sir. You know.
Senior Constable Roncato, at this point in
Do
time,
you not?
sir,
Do not come in my private property, sir.
Sir, you're under
Do
arrest.
not enter my private property. You are trespassing on my private property. You do not have consent to enter my property. This is my private property. Sorry, you do not have consent. You don't have consent. If you break my window,
Open it up.
if you break my window, no, you are trespassing against my property, sir.
Doesn't consent to legislation, but suddenly starts quoting legislation when he thinks it might help him. Typical sovereign citizen behavior.
You do not have consent. You now placing you under penalty of perjury, you must provide the material evidence that you are not a business. Now placing you under penalty of perjury, you must provide the material evidence that you are not a business. Right now. You must provide the material evidence that you're not a business. You're under penalty of perjury now, I remind you, officer. I know the law very well. I study contract law. Alright? I know exactly what goes on here. You do not have jurisdiction over me. I am under the jurisdiction, and within the jurisdiction, and here we go, here's my identification of the Global Federal Postal Courts.
The Global Federal Postal Court. Yeah, I remember that scam from a few years back. One of the followers ended up getting decades in prison for fraud, so that should tell you everything you need to know about that.
That's a legal fiction name, that is not I. Legal Legal fiction name, that's not I. You are committing personage right now by trying to identify me as a legal fiction name. You do not have the right to do so. That is personage. Personage is a crime. You're supposed to be upholding the law, sir.
Remember when Aussie cops used to smash windows and drag these guys out within seconds? Yeah, I kind of miss those days too.
I am under global federal jurisdiction. Do you want to see my identification tag? You do not have jurisdiction over me. Real federal, not corporate. I am a student of Mark Kishon Christopher, the Global Chief Postal Court Judge. Do you still want to wish to try to contract with me, sir? Do you believe you are higher jurisdiction than Mark Kishon Christopher, the Global Chief Postal Court Judge, the real federal?
What kind of person calls himself the Global Chief Postal Court Judge? That alone should be a red flag, honestly. I checked into that whole thing, and it's nothing but nonsense, so it's no surprise seeing people blindly follow.
I will take this to the courts. I've already beaten the Chief Magistrate in the court in Sydney. And you will be next on the litigation. You'll be held liable in the private capacity. Do you understand? In the private capacity, you will be held liable. Your badge is your indemnity number. Your corporation does not cover you for your own conduct. Do you understand? So you do not have jurisdiction over me. I am global federal jurisdiction. And you will be receiving a judicial notice from me. Do you understand? Corporation cannot make laws for the living, nor can a corporation enforce laws on the living. Sir, I run a channel that reaches over 1.4 million people weekly. And I will make you famous. I need to go. I have to be somewhere. Sorry.
First of all, I have no idea where he's getting this claim of massive views from because I checked multiple platforms and there's barely anything there. And secondly, the law doesn't care about internet fame. And you're the one who made this entire stop longer than it needed to be through pure ignorance.
No! You do not have jurisdiction over me. I am global federal jurisdiction. Right there, my friend. Right there, global federal jurisdiction. We are the ones serving you notice. I have already served the New South Wales Police Force notice, judicial notice. They have been acquiescent to all the questions I have proponed. A to Z of questions, which will be brought up. An A to Z of questions. They could not confirm their jurisdiction nor their authority. Okay, I know exactly what I'm talking about because I studied this stuff for many years. You don't have jurisdiction over me, sir. I am going. Thank you. Have a good day. No, there's no Mr. Glenn Short here. You are talking a legal fiction name.
Right, so that's where the video ends, but there's an update. According to police, within 24 hours, they tracked him down and served him court notices. He was charged with multiple offenses, including driving unlicensed, using an unregistered vehicle, refusing a breath test, and resisting police. And honestly, everything he said in this video was completely wrong, but at the same time, letting him drive away after saying he was under arrest didn't exactly send the best message. Either anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching Trial Tactics TV. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one.